Jason J.K. Candell. And on this Friday afternoon, we're here in the SimWorld TV studios. I'm joined by Heartland Zombie star 16-year-old guard Justin Zhang, one of the more dedicated players on the SimWorld Prep Circle. He's always plugged in, and I appreciate you being here with me, Justin. Excited to talk some ball with you. How are you doing on this Friday afternoon?
We're doing great. Just got home from practice, chilling on the sofa, just watching TV. Life is great.
I definitely get it. Were we watching anything good on TV or just whatever's on?
Yeah, whatever's on really. I was looking at a Mr. Beast video earlier, but yeah.
All right. I can get into Mr. Beast. I know Beast Games came out a couple of months ago, but
Yeah.
we're not here to talk about some TV. We're here to talk some ball. I know you're following the SimWorld U season. It would only be a soft commit for you. We'll get into it later in the show, but I know you're plugged into what's going on, and I think the best way to start is with the J-Rock Performer of the Week. My man Garrett Hart, formerly of the Yacht Club, now with Florida State. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to go toe-to-toe with Cooper Flagg and outplay him.
Right. Yeah, Duke has been up at the number one spot for a very, very long time. Very glad Garrett Hart and the Florida State Seminoles were able to take them down. Garrett Hart himself, he did very, very well leading his team. Yeah, I think that upset, nobody was going to expect that. But, Garrett Hart, very good player, did the unexpected. And yeah, I'm really happy with how the game turned out.
Yeah, it was surprising to me because there's a bright future in Tallahassee. You got Josiah Cook, who recruited class coming in, and you got Darius McBride, that former Yacht Club trio. But right now, they have like a couple of guys that stand out. But going into Cameron and beating Duke by 7 points, no less, just Garrett Hart, 25 points, just knew how to impose himself in the right ways. It was such a fun result to come back to from when I was covering an additional game on the SimWorld U schedule on Tuesday. I was unable to tune in, so it was great to see.
Yeah.
But that was shocking. Duke's been at number one for so long now. The 15-game win streak is snapped. They're not the only ACC team to have lost on Tuesday. Georgia Tech lost to Miami. Now Virginia Tech assumes firm control of the ACC, or atop the ACC standings. But that's a really strong conference. Let's not lie.
Yeah.
North Carolina, you got Duke, you got Louisville, you got Virginia, you got Virginia Tech. There's probably 6 or 7 teams from that conference that I expect to make Hoopsteria. So the fact that Florida State's knocking off Duke, or that Miami, even with their disappointing season, is knocking off Georgia Tech, I expect to see both these teams in March.
Yeah, that Georgia Tech and Miami game also really surprised me because I haven't really acknowledged Miami as a good team before the upset. But, I saw that game against Georgia Tech. They, just like Florida State, they did the unexpected. Georgia Tech was at one point very, very good. Especially Bianco. He's been taking the top off for the Hurricanes, and that game against Georgia Tech was just so brilliant.
Yeah, that's a good Tech team. I think people are writing off Miami. They've been writing them off early but you got 2 SWBA caliber guys on that team in Jermaine McLemore and Dominic Bianco. They may be a disappointment, just like Tennessee. They may be a disappointment. But they're still a team that, if they're a 9 or 10 seed in Hoopsteria, they're a terrifying 9 or 10 seed to face in Hoopsteria.
Yeah, I agree.
Just it's star talent. You don't want a guy that can completely change the outcome of a game. Trey Turner, there's been some rumors about his frustration with his teammates after the Wednesday loss to South Carolina. He's their offense is really good in Tennessee. They're saying he has no help, but he's a talented player. He's someone that's I would say he has help, but he doesn't have consistent help.
Right. You know, Trey Turner, I think he's doing a good job himself, but based on how the team is going right now, I don't think I don't think he's getting. I don't think Tennessee has the consistency they need to be winning. Because right now they've been losing back to back. Trey Turner is like usually always on top of the bar. Um, I don't know. It's just I find the amount of assistance he has very. I just don't think he has that much help when he's on the court.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree to an extent. He's a guy that's gonna be pro in 6 months, so I don't think it's really about. I think he's proven all he's needed to prove, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, they've been unable to replicate their success. Henrik Vekic has taken a significant step back, and it's insane.
Yes, yes, Henry Vekic. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know about him, man. I don't know.
Tennessee's got some pieces, but I'm I want to talk to you about this SEC conference. Kentucky's dropped some games. They dropped back to back. We've
Yeah.
seen Alabama at the top. We've seen Auburn
Yeah.
look good. We've seen Arkansas. There's what 3 top 10 teams in the SP poll from
Hmm.
the SEC. We got Alabama, we got Arkansas, and we got Kentucky. They're all looking
Yeah.
dominant, and Mississippi State in their own right, even while they got blown out by Tennessee, they're looking like a team that
Hmm.
will still be a high seeded team in March and has a lot of cohesive scoring where maybe they can go on a little bit of a run.
Right. Right. You know, when Alabama lost Weaver, I thought they were going to do much worse than they did before, but they're coming off good so far off these games. They're doing
Yeah.
what they've always been doing. Yeah.
Just tough for Kentucky because losing 2 straight at home is a bit of a tough pill to swallow, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Right. Those two losses were not great for them. That's not the Kentucky I remember before conference play, but who knows? Maybe they could catch back up and start a winning streak again.
Like they're only at, I believe, number 8 in the SP poll. They're not bad,
Yeah.
but Arkansas is hitting their stride. DJ Wagner's been playing his best basketball, and then you have Alabama, who's got Levin Cutler and Quincy Henderson and DJ Childs, and then you're bringing in
Hmm.
3 top 10 recruits from the SimWorld Prep guys. You got Kai Killens is a beast. You got Almighty Soul. You got
Yeah.
Leonardo Fields. That'll be an inexperienced team next year, but they're going to be top 3 in the country from the get go.
Hmm. Can't wait to see that Soul Fields and Killen's gameplay. I think they're gonna make a good team next year.
Yeah, and what I want to ask you before I ask you some questions really about yourself and your journey is what do
Hmm.
you who are your favorite players to watch in SimWorld U? Who are your those guys that you
Ooh.
watch them and you're like, I look up to them. I want to model my game around them. And what storylines have you been most interested in across this season?
Uh I'm liking Jeremiah Minor. He's injured right now, if I'm not mistaken. But I've seen what he can do. I just love his gameplay, man. He's fast. He knows how to hop. He's very athletic. I just I just love how he moves around the court and provides for his team. Um, yeah, I think he plays a big part in Duke's success right now. Some people may not see it that way, but I think Jeremiah Minor is by far my favorite player in SWU and on Duke.
Is that the only player you enjoy watching? Or I don't know if you're a Cooper Kingy
Uh,
Cross or a Lamarian Sherwood. Like,
Not
what?
really. I mean, Sherwood and CKC, they're both fun to watch to me, but I don't really, I don't really, you know, try to actually watch and like learn from them and stuff. But they are very entertaining. I do like watching Sherwood and CKC go at it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
last night we got to see Cooper King Cross and Dylan Harper go at it. There's
Yeah.
so many great guards in SimWorld U for a guy like you. It's so many great people to potentially model your own game after.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a great sounding board for you as one of these younger guys who's really been turning heads in recent weeks, I would say.
Hmm.
But
I'll agree.
and where do you stand on that number one pick debate? Are you team CKC? You see team Sherwood, or are you
Um,
Jamison Johnson like myself?
I think I'm Team Sherwood because he's been taking the ball, doing what he wants with it, and doing really good with it. I just I
Yeah,
definitely think he's up there. Yeah, I'm Team Sherwood for sure.
I think I would be team Lamar and Sherwood if he had a more refined perimeter game. I
Yeah.
love those Tim Duncan comparisons for a guy like Jamison Johnson. And it's why I love him so much. He just plays with so much fluidity.
Right. Right. Yeah. I
It's
I can see
Kentucky.
that. Mm-hmm.
You see a guy come through that pipeline. It's impressive. But speaking on those big programs, what are you looking for as you navigate the recruiting process over the next season and a half?
What I'm looking for?
Yeah, like
Um,
what kind of program are you looking to play at? What do you think serves you well, or what would appeal to you
I
while you're being recruited?
I think I would be interested in a team like Harvard. Um, you know, that's my dream college right now. I'm trying my best to get more recognition so they can notice me, but I I especially like Macklin Mighty. I talk to him, from time to time. He's a really good guy, really good player. But Harvard isn't doing their best right now. Yeah, they've been on the losing trail, but I I feel like I personally could help out over there with my IQ in the game and the amount of athleticism I produce as well as my shooting. You know, I believe I could be a good fit over there, but time will tell. Time will tell.
So, just building on that, you're saying you like Harvard a lot, but
Yeah.
are you more inclined to want to join a program where you can build them up and be the result of helping them win, or
Yes.
join a contender and be the piece that pushes them over the edge?
I want to be the guy that turns the team around. That's me. I don't really find interest in like top programs. Yeah. I I just want to be able to turn around the team and change perspectives. That's all.
So, what kind of coach or what kind of system do you think you'd thrive best in at the SimWorld U level? I know you're over there with Coach Loveless right now, with so many
Yeah.
legendary coaches in SimWorld U. Is any of those you would love to play for?
Uh, you know, I have been talking with him about him a bit, but Coach Jans over at Mississippi State, uh, I love his play style. I've been watching his team play just a little bit, but you know, they they got Juan over there. They got Jackson Sutton. Um, I th- I think I could really mesh well into how they play, and Coach Jans himself, he's a really good coach. Probably actually one of my favorite in SWU actually, but it would be a dream to play under him, but I just don't see that happening yet.
I'm so interested by the fact you didn't name like a Calipari or Bill Self or Tom Izzo. Just
Yeah. I'm just not interested in their programs. Yeah.
you. It's because you. Do you just think that like the like is it a pressure thing or is it just a preference thing?
Uh, it's just a preference thing. I just don't prefer those types of coaches.
I
I
understand that.
mean, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Coach Woodson at Indiana's okay too. I like him too, but yeah, I just the coaches I like. It's very specific. Very specific.
It's good. You're being selective through the process.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. So I really respect that. But I want to kind of turn back the clock a little bit. Tell me
All
about
right.
how you got your start in basketball and how that's really translated
Ooh.
to success with SimWorld Prep.
So when I originally came to Heartland, I came with Isaiah Orleans,
Yep.
uh, teammate. I originally came with him. We were both trying to align our goals together, get on the same team, and do what we do best. I was originally gonna be the sixth man of the team as Isaiah was starting, but over time, I started working really, really hard in the gym. Work on my craft, and then eventually, Loveless, he saw something in me, promoted me over Bryant Walls, which I love. He's really great, but I got promoted to that starting spot. And then I got my first start in the Windy City Hoopers Invitational. Did pretty good there, especially against Lakeshore Drive. And then, he's been helping me ever since, training with me, practicing with me. Um, yeah, I really like Coach Loveless. He's a really great coach.
And I think this is an interesting question. This is one I love asking. But what's your pregame routine? And like, is there like a meal you have to have before a game or a song you like to listen to? Just how do you get
Um,
yourself in the zone on a given Saturday?
I I wouldn't eat anything specific. Maybe just like the normal breakfast. I wake up, eat the normal breakfast, and then
What's the normal
um, um
breakfast?
oh, we could say I like I I like a casual BLT. A BLT is fine for me with just some orange juice or water, whatever I feel like. And then I like listening to Drake and SZA. Those are my top two favorite artists. Um, yeah, they're relaxing to me. Uh, I prefer listening to more relaxed music instead of more hyped up music, and they just really get me in the zone. Like, yeah, I,
Yeah,
they're always in my ears when I'm in the gym.
I get that. That makes a lot of sense. And we talked about your favorite players in SimWorld U, but what players do you model your own game after? Like, who are your idols growing up as a basketball fan and a basketball player?
Um, in the SWBA, you know, besides Jeremy Lin, I think I really liked Kyrie Irving. Like he's really the only guy I like to learn from. His athleticism is crazy. I watch him every day, every time. Whenever I have time, I show up to some of the games over there in Dallas. Um, he's I, I met him once too. He's really nice, really great. He inspires me to keep going every day. Yeah, I idolize him a lot.
I was gonna ask you about Jeremy Lin. I saw it was servicing a couple of weeks back that you got to like work out with him and link up with him.
Yeah, yeah,
Just what does it mean to you to just be with a guy you grew up idolizing? I'm a big Nick fan, and I love
yeah.
Linsanity. So
Um, I watched him since I was very, very young, and to be able to, in person work out with him, it was a dream come true. He is a very knowledgeable guy. He is a great mentor. I'm pretty sure, because uh, during one time when I was working out with Jeremy Lin, there were other people who were also doing the same thing. You know, learning basketball under Jeremy Lin. They loved his advice. They loved the amount of commitment he was giving to help them. I personally think Jeremy Lin is the best player of all time. Getting to work out with him really helped me. He gave me lots of help, and I feel like I've upped my game ever since. And I hope to work out with him more in the future.
and did he put in a good word with you with Harvard?
About I haven't told him about Harvard, but I'll keep in touch with him.
Definitely won't hurt given he went there. But that's gonna do it for this episode of the J Rock Show. Appreciate you coming on, Justin. It's been great talking to you. Been great having
Yeah.
you here. Wishing you the best of luck for the rest of your SimWorld Prep season and beyond. And whenever you want to come on again, I would be happy to have you, man.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody tuning in to this week's episode of the J Rock Show. Remember, folks, SimWorld, the only place you can see the game, be the game. Have a great week.